I met my uncle and told him I have taken commerce, and he said, "Why commerce? You have scored such good. You took up commerce after 10th. How you got to know about USCMA?
At first, I was very skeptical. I did not know what CMA is, but you can just say.
First, you gave CMA part 1 or part 2, and how you started your overall preparation?"
But at first, it was kind of slow paced because the college had to cover whole syllabus in 2 years. I kind of did not focus well. I was okay, we have to get serious. I have to give my exams. I have to schedule it. It's very important that you have concept clarity. So I understood the concepts and I focused on.
Did you face any challenge that you weren't able to understand some of the topics?
Internal controls, it was completely new for me. So I struggled with it, broke down the topic in smaller pieces because that's when it gets crystal clear to you. You understand the small part, then you understand the bigger picture.
Was there any anxiety, or were you completely confident?
And when January was coming to an end, I fell sick and I was hospitalized and I was so tensed.
So welcome to a brand new series where we decode exam success of students who have passed in USCMA program. Today we have with us Zuili, a student from my very first batch who has not just passed CMA exam but scored a whopping more than 400 in both the parts. She has passed part 1 with a score of 430 and part 2 with a score of whopping 470. So today we are going to decode how Zuili prepared for USCMA exam, what were the challenges she faced, how she overcame those challenges, and mainly where CMA is taking her in terms of career opportunities. So Zuili, welcome to the podcast. Now, before going ahead, just to understand your context, where you come from, what your academic background has been, let's start with your introduction. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So I'm Zuili Bhoite. I have recently completed both of my USCMA parts, as I said, with a score of 413 part 1, 417 part 2. A bit about my background. After 10th, I started with commerce. As everyone expected me to go for either science because I scored good, and or arts because I was kind of abstract mindset kind of person. But science or arts never interested me, so I went with commerce. So kind of like an elimination method. But commerce grew on me. I grew to love finance and accounts and how in general business works, and that's where along this journey I found CMA, and this has brought me here.
Okay, amazing. This actually takes me back to my memory lane where I had scored somewhere around 18 and 90% in 10th, and I met my uncle and told him I have taken commerce, and he said, "Why commerce? You have scored such good numbers." I'm like, "No, now I'm going to take this as a challenge and prove that commerce can take you places."
Exactly.
So, nice to hear about this after so long.
Yes.
But okay, now coming main to the point, you took up commerce after 10th. How you got to know about USCMA and what got you interested in the program?
So BNCC, which is my college, Brihan Maharashtra College of Commerce, it provides scholarship to students interested in CMA. So we have a specialization of strategic finance along with BCom, where they teach you the whole curriculum of CMA, and then you can give your exam separately. So that's when I came to know about it in my second year of BCom. At first, I was very skeptical. I did not know what CMA is. I was hearing it for the first time. But you can just say CMA chose me. I just registered for it without any other thought, and it grew on me. I grew to love the curriculum because it's not just theory, it's more about the practical application in the business world. So we have numbers, we have analysis, we have interpretations, and in general decision making, and that's why the CMA curriculum interested me a lot. And throughout my BCom, I studied for my CMA.
Okay, after getting to know about CMA, let's say you started with the preparation. First, you gave CMA part 1 or part 2, and how you started your overall preparation?
Okay, so as I said, our college curriculum was linked with USCMA curriculum. But at first, it was kind of slow paced because the college had to cover whole syllabus in 2 years. And so they had to go with a good slow pace, but I wanted to cover it more quickly or just understand it in a better way, because the way college taught it was like a subject. But in order to give USCMA, we had to learn it more in depth, solve the MCQs, how the essay questions were framed, everything like that. And that's why I started to do my own self-study, apart from what college was teaching us. So the whole second year went by like that. I kind of did not focus well. I was just going with the flow. But in third year, I realized, okay, we have to get serious. I have to give my exams. I have to schedule it. And so I scheduled my part 2. And then that's when I met you. And then I got a lot more focused because I got to know exactly what I have to expect, what I will have to expect during the examination, how I will have to prepare. That's where you guided me. Okay, I'll go in a process kind of way. So first of all, I understood the concepts because when I learned that it's mostly MCQs, it's very important that you have concept clarity. So I understood the concepts and I focused on practice. Because you reminded us again and again, solve as many MCQs as you can. There are never too many MCQs. You can solve as many as you can, give mock tests. And one thing I always tell everyone, take notes. Because they are like your personal guidebook. It's in your own language. So whenever you want to revise, you can just go through it and you're ready to give any exam. So I took notes, I revised, I practiced, and that's how I got ready for my CMA.
Okay. By the way, just for reference, so in BMCC, part 2 was earlier handled by me. Now I handle both the parts. So with some different faculty, she has scored 430, and for part 2 with me, she has scored 470. So I hope you guess who won.
Yeah.
No, both scores are equally good. But anyways, coming back to the preparation phase, I mean, this is one challenge which I also faced back then when I used to talk to students. Students tell me that, sir, outside, everyone says that it takes 6 months, maximum 9 months. Whenever you link it with BCom, colleges take around 1 year for preparation. But I think instead of looking at this as a challenge, it's an opportunity. As you have more time, you can prepare at a level where you are more than enough prepared or confident enough that you're going to surely pass the exam. That is one part. Second part, so luckily NEP came through, right? We have applied NEP at our college and multiple colleges are taking it up. So while getting an opportunity to redesign the whole curriculum, now what we have done is for first semester, we have added just foundation of finance. So anyone who has completed 12th in his first year now can just focus on foundation. From second semester he or she can start preparing for CMA. So that's one great change, rather improvement we have done.
Yeah.
And second thing is now our curriculum gets over by mid of third year. So now last semester we have again designed it in a such a way that you only focus on application of finance. So when it comes to conducting financial analysis on Excel, that will be taught. Tableau, how analytics is done, that will be taught. Then how automation works, so basics of Alteryx, basics of regression modeling, everything will be taught. So now we have redesigned or redefined the course as an overall package, making sure that even though we are spending 3 years with CMA, the time is worth it. So that was major takeaway. I mean, you highlighted the gaps that were there, but yeah, glad to inform that they are fixed right now.
That's a great change.
Yes. Okay. So you started your preparation in 3 phases. One is understanding, second is solving questions, and third is tests or mock exams. Now, in each stage, when it comes to understanding, when it comes to solving MCQs or mock tests, did you face any challenge that you weren't able to understand some of the topics? Were they too difficult when it comes to MCQs? Were you struggling for accuracy at any point in time? And if you did so, then how did you overcome?
Okay, so for part 1, we have a unit which is completely based on internal controls and technology.
Section E and F.
Yes, so which was quite new for me because we know what is finance, what is management accounting, basics we know what is costing, pricing, valuation, but internal controls, it was completely new for me. So I struggled with it a bit at the start, like input controls, output controls, and technology, that DBMS, agile, everything related to that. But when I solved the MCQs, I read it. As I said, I read it, I take notes, and then I solve the MCQs. But when I solved the MCQs, I realized I'm making lots of mistakes because I'm just reading the text. I'm not understanding what these controls actually mean. Why are they applied? Why does technology play a big role in this? So I went to Google. I had my notes of my study material, but I went to Google, I read lots of articles regarding technology, database, everything related to that, took as clear notes as I could, broke down the topic in smaller pieces, because that's when it gets crystal clear to you. You understand the small part, then you understand the bigger picture. So when I did that and realized, okay, it's not that difficult. I can do this section also along with the other finance related sections. So that's how I overcome this technology bit of difficulty I faced. In part 2, it was foreign exchange for me. That was completely, not I would say completely, we know what is foreign exchange, import and export, but in CMA it was more in depth, because they are not going to ask you what is import or just calculate this cost. It's going to be in a tricky way, roundabout way, a question, and you'll have to actually think what they are going to ask, what answer they are expecting from us. So I had to understand foreign exchange very properly. So the same way I did for technology and controls, I went down that hole. I broke it down. I studied it again and again. I solved as many MCQs as I could, and then it became easy. Foreign exchange is now embedded in me. I know foreign exchange.
Now, before going ahead, I have a message for you. I'm on a mission to build India's #1 institute for USCMA. So if you're someone who's planning to pursue USCMA and want to be part of our success story, want to give me a chance to build your career, then do consider FinState Education for pursuing USCMA. Here, the learning is based on real-life applications, case studies. Secondly, there is a dedicated student success manager who will track your progress. And third, the placement model is inspired by IIM Lucknow's placement structure. So placement mentorship plus placement assistance will be taken care by our team. So if you want to pursue USCMA and have any queries around it, you can visit our website to book a call with our experts. Or if you want to join our next batch, you can directly call this number and book your seat. See you in class.
So if you're, let's say your preparation is now up to the mark, comes down to deciding whether you should sit for the exam or not. Okay. So did you keep any filters, any check marks that, okay, if I score above X percentage, X marks or X accuracy, then I will go and register for the exam? Or once you thought that you were prepared, then on what basis you took the call that, okay, let's go for the exam?
Okay, for part 1, as I was given scholarship, I had to schedule my exam in the next 1 or 2 years. And yes. I was in TY, so I was like, I have to at least give my part 1 before I complete my graduation. So I decided if I just keep on studying, this is how I did it. If I decided just keep on studying, maybe I might not ever be ready. So what I did for part 1 is I just scheduled the exam. Okay. I took a time of maybe 5 months or 6 months, and then I scheduled the exam after that. And I said, okay, in these months I will cover it. Now that I have scheduled, I have to do it. So I had a deadline in front of me, which motivated me a lot to study, and that's why I kept my focus and studied. By the time part 1 results were out, it was April, and I went to sir and I said, sir, part 1 is over. Now what to do part 2? And sir said, I mean, you can apply for June also, but it was only 2 months. And I was scared, how can I study for part 2 in just 2 months? I mean, we had done lots of syllabus in my last semester, but still it's a big thing to study for the exam exactly. So when sir motivated me that you can do it, I registered for part 2. Now I had a deadline again that I have to do it in 2 months, and I had sir's classes support. And that time I took sir's advice and kept a target of passing my mock test at least 80%. Like, you cannot go below 80. Once I'm scoring 80 in 2 or 3 mock tests, that's when I understood, okay, I can give my exams now. So that's what I followed, the approach I followed from part 2.
Okay. I could echo the same feeling. Like, I'm going through the same thing right now. Right now, I have a batch of 30 candidates with me for CMA Part 1. And when you're in student phase now, you don't get that seriousness initially. Last week we had Ganpati.
Yes.
Half of the classes disappeared now. So when it comes to professional exam, it's a marathon. And marathon, you have to study or put in effort every day, no matter what. The moment you take breaks, the time kind of goes away. And when your exam comes, when your scheduled target comes, then you realize, oh, you're falling short. So the best strategy is actually what you did. Set a target or set a deadline that kind of puts you under pressure. And this kind of leniency of having, 3 windows kind of backfires. So don't fall into that trap. Set a deadline, that always helps. And regarding mock exams, see, mock can be a very good tool. One thing that I usually tell students is whenever you sit for mock or any test and you start making mistakes, that mistake can help you build a pattern, that which concept is weak in terms of understanding. So looking at that pattern, you can always go back and fix it. So I think we can connect dots with Forex or internal controls, as you mentioned. But yeah, I think this pretty much sums up that how you can prepare and decide how when you want to go for the exam. Now coming to your exam month. In last 1 month and specifically last 24 hours before the paper, what was your schedule like? What was your, I would say, stress level? Or was there any anxiety, or were you completely confident? How was your last month overall?
So the last month, it was very stressful.
Okay.
I mean, for part 1, even though the deadline was very far from me, as I said, I took almost 4 or 5 months, but still when I reached, I scheduled it for February 20, and when January was coming to an end, I fell sick. And I was hospitalized, and I was so tensed ki what to do now. I went home, I left Pune, and then for a few days I took rest, and then I came to Pune and I had almost 20 days to study now. But I knew I could do it because I had lots of notes with me. As I said, notes were my guidebook. They helped me a lot during my journey. So during the 20 days, I made a timetable, as I do for each and every exam of my life, you could say, for my graduation, for my masters. I make a timetable. So I decided for 3 days, I will do each section. And in those 3 days, for 1 day, I will read the notes. 1 day, I will see what I'm not understanding. Something like just revising the topics which I left kind of. And 1 day, I solved MCQs and essays. And at the end, I took a mock, because in IMA support package, they have a mock for each and every section.
Yes.
So I took section-wise mock. And that's what I did for 15 days something. Last 5 days, I did the main mocks, the whole all the 6 section mocks. And day before the exam, I went to Panvel, that's where one of my relatives lives, and I was so stressed that time because the next day morning I had to leave for Mumbai. But still, I revised again. I read all of my notes for all the sections. I don't know how I did it, but the night earlier, I slept early. I woke up early because we had to travel a lot. And then I reached Goregaon. That's the only center in whole of Maharashtra right now. Then I reached there, and I had an idea of what to expect because sir had told us his journey. So I was not that anxious regarding what to expect. I went there, and it was a very interesting experience because they have very nice, what can we say, they guide you through it. I went there, they took my ID, checked everything. Then we went to the main section where there are lots of cameras. You have your own desk, and the desk is closed kind of, so you cannot see anyone else. And we have been given headphones so that we are not disturbed, which I did not use. They made me more anxious. I could not listen to anything. But then I started with my papers.
And by the way, these are noise cancellation headphones, not headphones for music.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, noise cancellation. But that made me more stressed. So I removed it. And then we started. And because I had given mocks all my study material, which I used, Hawk and Becker and Climb, I knew how the exam would look. So because the mocks are designed in a way that CMA designs it. So it started, and I don't know, the 4 hours just passed by. You do not realize. You just go into the exam mode. And I completed in 2.5 hours. So I got half an hour extra for my essays because my typing speed is not that good. So I needed that half hour extra, which I got. And when I finished it, I felt so relieved. I went down. I enjoyed with my family. So it's a good experience once you know what to expect.
Okay. I still remember we were talking on call and you said, "Sir, 2.5 घंटे में paper हो गया, सब ठीक है ना?" I said yes.
Yeah.
So if you're prepared to a good level, or whatever strategy I usually discuss with students, first are you can easily complete 50 questions if easy category questions show up. Another one are additional 30-40 questions, and last half an hour you can complete the rest of the questions. In my experience, rather I want to check this with you as well. Were you able to solve all 100 questions? Because if I go to my experience, I was able to solve only 90 to 93 questions.
Okay.
And last के 7-8 फिर मैंने ऐसे तुक्के मार दिए थे. There is no negative marking, so you can do that.
Definitely. That point helps a lot because you know you can give just any answer and you're not going to get your marks cut. So what I did, and sir also suggested, if you don't know the answer, leave it for now or just guess something and go forward, because if you leave it blank, you may not get the time to come back to the question. Just guess something, because each question you should take just a few minutes to solve, not also a few minutes, because you have to solve 100 questions in 3 hours. So whenever I felt like, okay, this is taking a long time to solve, I have passed a mark of 3 or 4 minutes, I left the question, just guessed the most probable answer I felt and ticked it and just went to the other question. So I guess I have guessed quite a few questions like that.
Okay.
Not solved all of the 100, but whenever I got time, as I said, I completed a bit early. So honestly, I completed it way early before 2.5 also, because I got 15-20 minutes to check all the 100 questions.
Oh,
So
nice.
I went through each and every question which I had just guessed. I tried to solve it again, and if I could not, then I just left it guessing only. And then
Okay.
I went through the all 100 questions like that.
Okay, interesting. So given that the whole exam experience is done, and congratulations once again, given that you have
Thank you.
completed this story. Now coming to life after completing CMA. What are you doing right now? Are you working full time? I mean, I know this is mainly for the audience, but are you studying in your MCOM? Have you done any internships? Is CMA helping you for life after your, let's say, exam preparation, everything? And just to note, so once you complete your CMA, you're a qualified CMA. Till the time you receive your 2 years of experience. Once you receive your complete experience, then you became a certificate holder. So as a qualified CMA, how does life after completing CMA looks like?
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say CMA did not just give me a qualification or just a credential to my name. It is more like being a part of a huge community. So there are people along with me who are equally passionate about finance and management accounting, and CMA gave me a chance to give back what I have learned. It gave me a means to make others understand CMA, understand their journey, who are on the same journey as I went through. Also, I'm a part of Pune chapter. I'm a director at large at Pune chapter. There I learned it's not just about giving examinations. CMA is lots more about learning your soft skills, building a community, networking, meeting professionals, and just continuous learning. And that's a compulsory criteria for CMA. So it also gave me a community. It gave me a chance to give back to the community. Right now I'm doing my master's because I wanted to keep learning. I wanted a master's degree to my name. And along with that, in my master's, I did an internship with Alliance Bernstein. It was just a 10 weeks internship where I learned, it was my first encounter with the corporate world. So that's what the biggest takeaway from AB was for me. I learned how real world business operates. And I learned lots of new skills, met new people, and got an experience of how my life would look for the next few years. So now that I have took that CMA qualification, I want to use it in the real world. I want to read numbers. I love to read numbers, interpret them. So I want to help the industry from my knowledge. I'm more interested in FP&A and management accounting. So that's where I would love to start my career.
Okay, happy to hear that. Just to highlight, Alliance Bernstein 10-week internship, excellent opportunities, very rare, plus an exceptional in terms of companies you get to work. Alliance Bernstein comes under one of, I would say, top tier in its industry, and getting an internship with that company is a rare thing to achieve. So kudos to that. And Zoili has been one of the candidates who always stands out. Even when she reached out asking that when you should appear for next attempt, I usually don't recommend students to sit for the exam immediately after a month or two. But knowing what her capabilities was, it was a customized feedback that hey, you can do it within 2 months. You have been doing well in terms of academics. So similarly, again, my recommendation, or rather my not recommendation, but my prediction would be an exciting opportunity awaits you the moment you complete your MCOM, and I'm sure CMA will help you go places in the industry.
Thank you so much, sir.
Great. So let's do a quick rapid fire round around CMA exam.
Okay.
You can give one word answer or a short answer. Okay. First question is, which one do you like more, part 1 or part 2?
Part 2, definitely.
Okay. How many hours of studies required on daily basis from your perspective?
3 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
ठीक है. One biggest challenge you faced while preparing for CMA?
Time management.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing you would change if you get to do CMA once again?
I would start early.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which method of learning do you like more? Lectures or taking notes or textbook?
Both are important, but I love taking notes.
Lectures person. Okay.
I mean, I love
We'll close
lectures.
this. We'll close this.